Hi, and welcome to session 2 of the Krav Maga Fundamentals teaching series. What we're going to cover today is moving in guard and striking while moving in guard, the roundhouse kick and the backwards breakfall. So, first things first, as we did in the last session, from the guard position here, we need to be able to move forwards, backwards, one way or the other. So what we're going to do here is to note, first of all, the foot positioning. So here as I'm in guard, if I'm moving forwards, my forwards foot moves first. If I'm moving backwards, my backwards foot moves first. If I'm moving to my left foot moves first. And if I'm moving to my right foot moves first. So in all of these moving situations, the foot that is in the direction of where you're going is the foot that moves first. Obviously, if I'm moving to my left and my right foot moves first, I'm potentially very overbalanced. So we want to maintain balance in all situations. So we're moving forwards, moving backwards, moving to my left, moving to my right, like so. Now, when you're talking about punching at the same time as moving, what you want to aim to do, as we discussed again with the principles of Krav Maga, is we're applying the maximum amount of our body weight to every strike. What we're aiming to do here is as we move, your foot touches the floor at the same time that your fist strikes the target. So if I'm moving forward and striking here, my lead foot touches the floor as my lead hand strikes the target. If I'm then recovering and moving forward with my rear foot, as my rear foot touches the floor, my lead hand strikes the target. So if I'm going forwards here, step and strike, step and strike. If I'm moving to my left here, step and strike, step and strike. If I'm moving backwards, step and strike, step and strike. So you're always getting that synchronization of your foot and your hand striking at the same time. So I'll demonstrate again. Here, moving to my left, step and strike, step and strike. Moving to my right, step and strike, step and strike. Moving backwards, step and strike, step and strike. Moving forwards, step and strike, step and strike. So that's how it works. The main thing here is just to get used to the idea of your body and your foot moving at the same time. Okay, so now moving on to the kick, the roundhouse kick. The roundhouse kick is interesting because with the front kick here, my hips are facing forwards. Okay, there's no movement of my feet and my foot is going forward and it's kicking directly forwards. With the roundhouse, which is this, there's your roundhouse kick. In order for me to be able to do that effectively, I have to rotate my hips 90 degrees to the side. In order for me to do a roundhouse kick with my hips facing forwards, it's very, very difficult because my hips are closing off against each other. It's very difficult. So in order to make it far easier, you rotate that rear foot in as you start to do the kick. So if you look from the back, actually. So from this position here, as I get myself ready for the kick, I'm rotating my foot so my foot's pointing 45 degrees backwards and planting my heel. My rear foot starts to come off the floor and I engage the kick. As I come back down to the floor, I rotate and come back to my good guard position. So from this side here, I'm rotating, kicking, and my feet are coming back to a good guard position. Notice with my shoulders here as I do the kick, I'm not turning my hands down here to deliver the kick. Okay? I'm trying to keep my guard forward, okay, my hands and eyes pointing towards my attacker, rotating, kicking, and coming back down again. Okay? So rotate, kick, and come back down again, facing forwards. So, the last one for today, moving on to the backwards breakfall. Okay, the backwards breakfall is designed for you to not be seriously wounded or hurt when falling towards the floor. The way that we practice this, first and foremost, is by ensuring that we slow our speed to the floor. If I was just to lean back and fall and land like a plank, I'd be seriously hurt. So what I'm aiming to do is to slow my speed towards the floor. So as I lean back, I start to lose my balance, I'm going to bend my knees. And that controls my speed towards the floor, it slows it down. So I'm here, I'm leaning back, I'm losing my balance, I bend my knees, okay, and I go towards the floor. So from this side here, so I'm leaning back, here, first stage, I bend my knees, okay. As you can see, what this means is you can go towards the floor, and not use the breakfall, and still actually not be quite as hurt. So there's the first element. As you lose your balance, you're bending your knees. The second element is to curve your back and tuck your chin in. If I'm here and my back is flat, even if I bend my knees, you land flat with your back on the floor, you expel your air, and you could easily get winded. However, if you tuck your chin in, curl your back as you go towards the floor, here, curl your back, okay? It makes a curve of your back, and so you roll on the floor rather than landing flat and possibly hurting yourself. So, final element is the breakfall. Now the breakfall, when your bum is about to touch the floor, you bring your hands out and strike 45 degrees between your shoulders and your hips, hands down. And it is the whole of your arm that strikes the floor, not the elbows. Okay, so from here, when I do this, with my elbows, I'm going to break my elbows. So if I start earlier and do that, I'm going to break my wrists. So what I need to make sure of is as I go backwards, I'll wait until the centre of my back touches the floor and the hands go out. So here, I bend my knees, go down, tuck the chin in, and hands go there. Okay? The arms and the hands, 45 degrees out, hitting the floor here, at the same time as the middle of my back touches. The easy way to practice this is to lean back, bend your knees, and as your bum touches the floor, to whip your hands out. Because in that way you find that the timing is almost perfect. Okay, so that's it. So what we've done today, we've covered moving in guard, okay, and striking while moving in guard, cover the roundhouse kick, okay, and the backwards breakfall.